Today we got a story time of a spoiled kid who thinks his dad actually owns the school. Like his dad is the CEO of the school, owns it, therefore he can do whatever he wants and do whatever he wants to other people. Yeah, so this is a pretty crazy story, so sit back, relax, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Leave a like on the video to claim your free nothing, as always. And with that being said, let's just jump right into it. Alright, so at the subscriber school, there's a kid who we're going to call Billy. And Billy was a spoiled kid. He was your standard spoiled rich kid. You already know how it is. And as most spoiled rich kids, his parents literally gave him anything he wanted, which kind of diluted and destroyed the whole idea of money, the idea of value, the whole idea that you can't just have everything that you've ever wanted. And also, he's never had to work for anything. I mean, here's the thing. There are parents that have a ton of money, but they still make sure to instill the right values in their kids. They're still making sure that their kids are getting summer jobs if they want something. They're making sure that they're not paying for everything. And if they are paying for something, that it actually makes sense. Oh, my kid needs to eat. Okay. It's oh, my kid wants diamond, I don't know, studded cane or something. I don't know, man. Then obviously they wouldn't buy that. But unfortunately, Billy was a spoiled kid and his parents didn't really care. So anyways, right, one day, Billy must have been riding back with his dad. And this part of the story is a little hard to tell because obviously the subscriber was not in the car with Billy, but it was just overheard from different rumors and different people. But basically what happened is Billy, the spoiled kid, was, in the car riding back with his dad, and he was on his phone, I don't know, right, playing some game or something, but it's not like he had AirPods in, he wasn't listening to music because he heard what, Billy's dad was saying. So Billy's dad was on the phone with the principal, and they were having some kind of conversation or something. I think Billy's dad, I don't know, did some stuff maybe he did do some stuff for the school. Maybe he gave, donated something, or maybe he volunteered. I don't know. So Billy's dad did have some affiliation with the school. However, Billy, the spoiled kid, was sitting there and hearing that his dad was talking with the principal, somehow came to the conclusion that since his dad was on the phone with the principal, he must actually own the school. So I don't know what Billy's dad said that made him believe that, but I think Billy's dad must have said something that he wasn't oh, and since I own the school, he didn't say something verbatim like that, but he must have said something that made sense in context. But since Billy, the spoiled kid, didn't hear the whole conversation and also wasn't hearing what the principal was saying, must have misconstrued that whatever was being said was a conversation that confirmed that his dad owned the school and not that his dad was helping out with the school, which is what actually was happening. So right, after that, Billy kind of had a massive ego blow up. And since he's a spoiled kid, he already has a pretty decently big ego for no reason. But now that he believes that his dad actually owns the school, his ego is 3x what it was before. So the next day, Billy came in with a newfound sense of confidence. It wasn't as if he wasn't confident before. I think, as I have already said, he was, the spoiled kid. He was pretty confident, right? However, he had this newfound kind of sense of confidence after falsely believing that his dad actually owns the school. So anyways, he comes into class. In the first period class he has with the subscriber. So he sits down, not right next to the subscriber, but close enough to the subscriber. And so he's sitting there, and the subscriber's listening. And at this point, this is a first-hand account, since the subscriber sees all of this. There's some kid who we're going to call Ben that was in between the subscriber and the spoiled kid sitting. If the spoiled kid was on the far left and Ben was or the subscriber was on the far right, Ben was in between them. So anyways, right, the subscriber overhears Billy, the spoiled kid, drop his pencil, right? And he looks down, and he looks at Ben, and he's like, "Pick up that pencil for me right now, peasant." And Ben's like, "Dude, shut up." And the subscriber's like, "Do you know who my the spoiled kid is like, "Do you know who my father is?" And the subscriber's like, "What?" "No. He's your dad. I don't know." Remember, at this point, the spoiled kid is convinced his dad owns the school. Therefore, yes, I can be a jerk to anyone I want. So yeah, when Ben heard this, he kind of just rolled his eyes and was like, "Whatever, man." And the spoiled kid is like, "Your insubordinance is noted and will be reported to my father." And the subscriber is just kind of like, oh my God. Because everyone kind of knew the spoiled kid as kind of being a spoiled, entitled kid. But this was a whole new level of just wow, really? really? Like, this is just a whole new level of, damn, this kid's spoiled. Anyways, though, so yeah, sure enough, the subscribers kind of just like, okay, whatever. However, the thing is, things continue to go on and things continue to get worse. And as the days went on, Billy the spoiled kid just became more and more unbearable. Like, this kid was becoming an actual pain to just live with. So, yeah, basically the worst was in lunch. So in lunch one day or the next or during that day, he went up to some kid and was like demanding like his lunch money. Basically, he was paying like it was a toll to the like it was Billy was set. You know when you go on the road and you have to like make those stops if you drive really long, those toll booths where you have to pay money to pass through. Basically, the Billy, the spoiled kid, went up to some kid and said, "You are now in," and he says his last name, "family's property. You must pay the toll. Please give me $3 or some amount," right? Whatever amount was like this kid's lunch money. And the kid was like, dude, no. He's like, "Your insubordinance is noted and will be reported to my father. If you are banned from the school, then don't come crying to me. That's all I'm going to say." And the subscriber overheard this, and he was like, oh my god, this kid is actually the worst. And so the next day, Billy, the spoiled kid, was walked into the lunchroom, and there was a massive line. The subscriber was about midway through the line. I think today it was, some kind of like special food day that they all liked. Maybe it's Taco Tuesday. I don't know, man. Anyways, though, so everyone was pretty excited. So the line was pretty long. Usually the line wasn't as bad as this, as kids wouldn't be as, adamant of being like getting in line, going for seconds, whatever. So when, Billy, the spoiled kid, walked in and saw such a long line, he was like, "This shall never do." And he starts walking to the front of the line. The subscriber notices this and is like, no, like no shot this kid actually thinks he can just waltz on in to the front of the line like no one else is here. But sure enough, the spoiled kid, Billy, starts walking and it tries to cut the entire line. So obviously everyone's like, dude, like, what are you doing? And he says, "Well, I just thought you guys would want to be on my good side and let me cut the line." So obviously everyone was like, hell no, bro. What are you saying right now? Everyone was just so confused why this kid is like, "I think you want me to be on your good side." Like, dude, why would they care if they're on your good side or on your bad side? Like, I doubt that, like, they care any bit about that at all. Anyways, though, but the spoiled kid is like, "I think it would be a smart investment for you guys to allow me to cut the line." Because remember, at this point, the spoiled kid is working from a kind of perception that he is truly like the ruler of the school. And I don't know why he's acting as if everyone else knows that too. Like, if he only, let's say his dad owned the school and he truly was the ruler of the school. Why did he not know about this until 2 days ago? And if he didn't know about this until 2 days ago, why is he acting as if everybody else knows as well? It just literally makes no sense at all. So yeah, everyone is like, screw off, kid. Like, we're not giving you our spot in line. Stop being ridiculous, everything like that. And the spoiled kid, gets super mad and is like, "You're all going on the bad list," or whatever. And he goes to the back of the line. So yeah, at this point, the spoiled kid's shenanigans are not like getting him ahead in any way, but also they're definitely not helping at this. And they're also starting to get really, really annoying. So anyways, Billy the spoiled kid, his attitude / behavior got worse and worse and just continued being bad. However, this reached a breaking point for the subscriber and everyone else in Billy's class one day. So one day, after weeks and weeks of just utter nonsense coming from Billy just took it a little bit too far. So during recess, the swings are pretty popular. The swings are kind of like the place to be. And the thing is, it's kind of like first come, first serve. And everyone kind of knows, like, all right, you spend 5 or 10 minutes on the swings. If there's obviously some kids waiting around to get on them, just be courteous, be a good member of your community, and just, get off the swings and then let them go on. And they'll probably do the same. It's definitely a kind of like, the community is going to watch out for the community. And also, if you were known for hogging the swings, bro, the kids on the swings probably aren't going to give them up to you. So it's definitely like a big picture. You want to work with your group, whatever. So anyways, one day, someone was on the swings. And the spoiled kid, Billy, wasn't really known for liking to go on the swings, but I guess today he decided to change things up and he was going to go on the swings. So he goes over to the swings and he says, "Peasant, get off this swing for your king right now." Honestly, I think if Billy the spoiled kid was nice about it, and maybe said something like, "Hey man, like, how much longer do you think you want to be on the swings? Like, I think I'm gonna, like, I would personally like to, like, get on there at some point, but just let me know." If he said it like that, I bet he would have had a decent shot actually of being able to get on the swings. But it's the fact that the spoiled kid said, "Hello, peasant, get off the swings immediately before, like, I off with your head, or before I just, like, absolutely just, like, decimate you in front of the court." Like, bro, what are you talking about right now? Anyways, though, so yeah, sure enough, the kid's like, no. So at this point, some other kids are around. Some of them are waiting for the swings. Some of them just happen to be nearby. And they witness this whole thing go down. And the spoiled kid says, "You disrespect my authority," because he's looking around and seeing that everyone else is noticing this. "You will be punished severely." And he walks over and he pushes this kid off the swing. And the kid falls over and, like, hits his head. So he has to go to the school nurse. The spoiled kid is, like, in timeout or gets a very light, moderate punishment. But at this point, all the kids kind of, like, get together afterwards and are like, dude, the spoiled kid has gone way too far. Real quick, if you made it this far into the video, comment "school" down below. That'll be the secret word of the day. And also, if you use Spotify and you don't listen to these stories on Spotify, my Spotify is linked, first link in the description, and also the only link in the pinned comment. And finally, up until the summer, we got a little bit of a challenge, a community challenge. It's the binge watch challenge. So basically, go down the comment section and comment how many videos you watched today, how many videos you watched this week, whatever you want to put. Here's some people on screen right now that have done so. Thank you to these people. Thank you to you. And with that being said, let's get back to the story. So anyways, right, Billy has gone too far. The spoiled kid has gone way too far. And everyone at the school is in agreement on that. So yeah, sure enough, they come up with a plan. They come up with a plan of action to fix what's going on. So anyways, one day at lunch, or the next day at lunch, I should say, they all go, Billy's sitting at a table alone. He can't eat with the peasants, by the way. He must eat at his own little royal table. But he goes up, they all go to Billy. And they all kind of, like, surround his table. And Billy looks up and he's like, "Yes, peasants. And the subscriber's like, "Dude, we've all come to agreement. You're acting like a little jerk recently. You got to cut this out," or, the spoiled kid's like, before even the subscriber could say or what they were going to do, the spoiled kid, who was just so shocked because he had never been talked back to before, and he just couldn't possibly imagine that the peasants would be so bold as in to talk back to their superior. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh good heavens, like, you would talk back to your superior like that? Are you serious right now, guys? So he's just so taken aback. And, he's all just like, "You guys are making a big mistake. My father owns the school." And they're all looking at him. And they're just like, "Dude, your dad doesn't own the school. And you just can't boss us around like that. Even if he did, you can't boss us around, but he doesn't. So it's not even if you're bossing us around on something that makes sense." And the spoiled kid just blew up on them. He was so angry that they would question his authority, right? And he's just like, starts shouting, "You're all just jealous of me because my father is rich. I can do whatever I want, and you will always be lesser than me. You must submit. You're better off submitting before I destroy you all." And so everyone around the table is like, "Oh my God, this kid is so cringe and lame. I didn't know you could be both like that." So yeah, all the other kids just kind of look at him. And then they looked at each other, and then they nodded. They all nodded at each other because they were all in agreement that action needed to be taken. Yeah, so sure enough, they're still at the table. And after, like, the spoiled kid finishes his, like, crazy, explosive, like, freak out session, he's like, the subscriber says, "Look, dude, we're all in agreement. So either you're going to quit, you're going to cut out with all this, like, peasant talk and trying to cut us in line, bossing us around, and overall just being a jerk to us, and you know what you're doing. You know what if you keep on doing that, we're not going to allow you to do anything." And the spoiled kid's like, "Excuse me?" And the subscriber's like, "Yeah, we've basically talked to the entire class. They're not going to let you play Foursquare. They're not going to let you on the swings. They're not going to let you do this during recess. They're not going to let you do that. And basically, the subscriber goes down a whole long list of basically everything at school that was fun. The whole class was going to basically block him. Think of this of like some kind of like blockade or whatever, just as a leverage tool. Low-key kind of smart from the subscriber and his friends. And the spoiled kid is like, you guys don't control me. I can do whatever I want. And the subscriber's like, all right, man, like, that's fine with me. You can do whatever you want. Like, that's fine. Like, kind of whatever, man. And the spoiled kid's like, ugh, it doesn't bother me at all. I will have fun all by myself. So sure enough, the subscriber like kind of looks at the other kids and kind of gives them a nod. And they all go back to everyone else saying that the spoiled kid was not being cooperative, so to block him from anything fun. So over the next couple of days, the spoiled kid is not allowed on the swings. The spoiled kid is not allowed to join them during Foursquare. The spoiled kid is not allowed to do this. No one is talking to the spoiled kid. Basically, basically saying you're not allowed to have fun here until you stop acting like a jerk. So finally, after a week, the spoiled kid, when no one else is looking, goes up to the subscriber and is like, look, call off your blockade. I'll stop being a jerk. And the subscriber says, okay, one more thing. So you guys might be thinking, what is that one more thing? And the subscriber's like, I need you to apologize. And the spoiled kid's like, oh my God. I'm sorry. Oh my God. Oh. And the subscriber's like, okay, that's good enough for me. And he says, I'll tell everyone to like quit with the blockade. And the spoiled kid's like, good, like, fine. I'm sorry. Spoiled kid walks away. Everyone lets the spoiled kid back into doing whatever they're doing. And yeah, sure enough, the spoiled kid was no longer a jerk. He might have still thought his dad owned the school, but he wasn't a jerk about it. If you want to support the channel, click on the video on screen right now. And if you're listening on Spotify, click on another story, and peace.